Good morning, my YouTube viewers. It is Crystal here, and I want to make my final video in this series of video distributions in Excel. And I'm going to cover the F distribution. The F distribution was named after, I believe it was named after Ronald Fisher. I think that's his name was. He was a statistician and a mathematician. And obviously the people who invented the F distribution thought a lot of this Fisher guy if they named a distribution after him. So on this F distribution, in order to create an F distribution, the first thing that you need to find is you need to find the numerator and the denominator for the degree of freedom. So in this particular exercise, I used 20. And whenever I use 20, I got the graph that you see in the PDF, and you can see that this is a right skewed graph. So after you get the numerator and the denominator for the degree of freedom, you need to put in the input. So what I did for the input was I devised a random number from 0 to 15, and I put this formula in rand times 15 from cell A3, and I copied it all the way down to cell A103, and that gave me the input. After I got the input, then I could use the F distribution formula for the probability distribution function, and then I started that in cell B3, and I copied that all the way down to cell B103, and the formula is F.dist A3 $E $3 $F $3 false. So the $ in front of the cell reference indicates that this is an absolute reference, and it indicates that it's not going to change even if you copy the cells down. And the false indicates that it is a probability distribution function. So you can see the graph that I've made with the PDF. The next thing we want to do is the cumulative distribution function, and so we use the same formula that we use for the probability distribution function, except for the fact instead of false we put true. True is your cumulative distribution function, and we copy that all the way down to cell D103, and this is the graph that was made. So the cumulative is the accumulation of all the probabilities, and so it'll have to equal 1, whereas the PDF, the probability is just the probability itself. So you can play around with the numerator and the denominator to change the shape. So we'll say here 15. And see, you can see how it changed. And we'll move over here to 30. And you can see that's changed as well, but we'll go back to 20, which is what we previously had. And then so you can change it here. You can say that's 2010, and you can see that that has changed the shape of the PDF. And it will also change the shape of the CDF as well. And so you can experiment with that and get different shapes if you like that. So if you want to make a graph of your distribution, what you have to do is you have to section off the cells that you want the distribution to cover. And in this particular one, we're going to be trying to create a PDF. So you come over here to insert, and you go recommended charts, and the only recommended chart that we have that's what we would like to see is a scatter plot, but we can look at all charts, and you can see that the only one that gives you something that you're interested in is the scatter plot. Everything else, it's not working out well at all. And so you can see that it's not working out well at all. So the only thing that you can get is the scatter plot. And we can go all the way down. We can go down to histogram. And you can see that's what your histogram looks like. So we'll just stick with the scatter plot. We've already got it. But what you would do is you would click onto OK, and then you would get yourself a new scatter plot, which I'm not going to do because I've already got a scatter plot. So if you want to make a graph of the CDF, what you do is you just highlight the cells that you want the graph to be composed of. Come over here to recommended charts, and you can see that there's your recommended charts. So this is a histogram. And then what you would have to do, like let's say you wanted a histogram, what you would have to do is you would have to go change it. I guess I'll do a histogram on the CDF. And then what you do here is you would say, change the chart title to FCDF. And then I've got a laptop, so you would double click on this. It says Format Data Series. And then we would go to horizontal axis. And then we would go to number of bins. We'll say 10 bins. So, or let's say you wanted 15 bins. So that's the way you would do it. But anyway, so that's what your histogram looks like. It looks almost like a universal histogram. So let's try to go ahead and do a histogram on the PDF and see what happens. See what kind of distribution we get for the PDF. So we go insert, and then you go recommended charts. We're going to go to histogram. We're going to click OK. I'm going to say FPDF. So let's look at the, yeah, that was right. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to, we're going to double click on that. And we're going to format the data series. We're going to go to horizontal axis. We're going to go to number of bins. And we're going to have 15 bins. And again, so that's it. That's your, what it looks like. But what I might do is I'm going to delete this. And delete this. And what I might do is use a different tactic for my histogram. Just do the FPDF and don't do the input values. We'll do insert, and then we'll do recommended charts. And we'll try a histogram, and we'll click OK. And then we'll say PDF. And then what we'll do is we'll come over here and then we'll double click on this. We'll format the data series. Go to horizontal axis. Number of pins will be 15. So still, I mean, that doesn't look very good, does it? You know, but that's your, and we'll go ahead and just for the CDF, see what the CDF looks like. Go to insert, go to recommended charts, and we'll come over here to histogram, and we'll say OK. So CDF. We're going to come over here and we're going to double click on, going to do format data series. I'm going to go to horizontal axis. I'm going to say the number of bins, and we want 15 bins. And you can see that doesn't look good. You can see that the PDF is like the opposite of the CDF. Because you've got your PDF here, and then you've got your CDF here, and you can see that they're opposite. So even though we're not really 100% happy with this histogram, this is what the histogram has made. And what you can do if you want to, I mean, it's XY scatter plot has made the best distribution, but you can play around with the histogram and you can play around with the XY scatter plot, and then you can find your numerator and denominator of the degrees of freedom. So I think I've covered everything that I can cover in this particular video, so I'm going to finish it. So if you like my video, please like and subscribe. And this is my last video on this series of distributions, but I'll be coming up with some more videos in the future for you to study.